guys, welcome back to The Real with Rachel D. That was a mix by DJ Specs. And on the line, I believe we have the media director of DragonCon, Dan Carroll. Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you doing, Rachel D?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, getting all the things ready for DragonCon next week.
I saw your Facebook. You have been all over the place today.
Yes.
I have. I've been running up and down Buckhead, run over to CBS 46 in the evening, and had a couple of out-of-state interviews last night. So the whole country's excited about DragonCon.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. That means you're doing your job.
Right?
Yes.
In fact, The Real with Rachel D came back specifically for this. I'm not going to lie. You were really, I was like, such nice people, such fun things. I said, guys, we enjoy the people that we meet, and we enjoy DragonCon. We're all very low-key. Well, we were low-key nerds, but now we're loud and proud, and we love it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, you know, the best thing about DragonCon is anybody's welcome. You like a little bit of Star Trek? Come on down. You like a lot of Star Trek? Come on down. You want to wear a costume? We got room for you. You don't want to wear a costume? That's fine. Just come and enjoy the show.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I'm a Marvel fan, so I just want to put that out there. So that's Star Wars, cool. I think I was like a Black Princess Leia with my little double buns last year. But yeah, Marvel is my thing. But Dan, what can people expect from DragonCon this year?
Well, DragonCon is growing, and this year we're expecting 82,000 people to come to our hotels, and we take up 5 host hotels down in Atlanta: the Hilton, the Sheraton, the Marriott, the Hyatt. Oh, I almost said the Hilton Place, and the Westin Peachtree. Plus, over in America's Mart, we have gaming, and this year we're introducing esports, which is like gaming that's competitive and professional, and it's going to be broadcast on Twitch. And then we've got another building at America's Mart where we have vending. We have, 14 football fields of things that you can buy and wear and play with, and games and toys, and you name it, it's going to be available for you there. And also we have 100 comic artists over there talking about their comic book work, signing art, and probably the big thing everybody's talking about is that if you can't make it to DragonCon, you can join with a streaming membership and be able to watch DC TV with all the great panels, all the exciting activities, the contests, all that available for you wherever you are over the internet. So that's a big surprise this year. To find out more about that, www.dragoncon.org. But I know a lot of people like to come to DragonCon to see the celebrities, and this year we are not going to disappoint. We've got John Cusack, we've got Wallace Shawn, we've got Zach Levi, and a thing that's causing a lot of conversation on the internet is we've got Alton Brown right here in Atlanta relaunching, and this is pretty exciting for me. He's relaunching Good Eats, and he's going to be talking about how cooking is actually science.
Oh, I love Alton Brown.
Yeah, no, he's great. I got friends from New Jersey. They always go, "Hey, you live near Marietta. Have you ever been to this Harry's that he goes to all the time?" I'm like, yes, I've been to Harry's a lot. So, he represents the city well. And, of course, we got that great parade everybody loves coming down Peachtree Street, 3,200 marchers, and we're expecting crowds of 85,000, but you don't have to come to DragonCon for that because it's going to be on the CW here in Atlanta, and it's going to be broadcast live in the morning, September 2nd, and then it's going to be primetime rebroadcast.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's very, very awesome. How many years have DragonCon been up and running?
Well, this is our 31st DragonCon, and to give you a perspective on the growth and the impact it's had on the city, when we started, we had 1,700 total attendees, and this year we are looking at 2,500 volunteers helping put this show on smoothly and effortlessly.
Wow, 31 years. Not to age anybody, but I wasn't in existence when DragonCon.
I was around.
Oh, well, I actually was a young man with a head full of hair when it started. So.
And I do want to say, Dan, I'm glad the beard is back. Okay. Dan went through a moment where he shaved the beard, and I'm glad it's back, right? Or are those
Whoa, yeah, it is. It's back in big time. It was a piece of bad advice I followed, and no, it's back strong. In fact, this year I'm going to be costuming for the first time. I've never costumed before.
Awesome.
Never wore a costume.
Any spoilers? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I can. If you got computers in front of you, go look up Star Wars Rex, REX, and I am costuming a character from Star Wars Rebels that looks so much like me that when the toy was announced before he was introduced on the Star Wars Rebels show, everybody sent me pictures of the toy asking if I had posed for it.
We're looking at it, Dan. Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I'm coming back, coming to DragonCon, a leaner media relations director. The costume is going to be a professional quality costume for the folks at the 501st Legion, the people who love dressing up like stormtroopers and raise money for charity. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But speaking of charity, that's probably another important thing about DragonCon is that DragonCon is hitting a milestone with our blood drive. We expect sometime on Friday at DragonCon that we will draw blood unit 25,000. 25,000 units of blood will be collected from the time we started collecting blood at DragonCon until now. And we're going to give a special award to Mr. Henry, who is president of DragonCon, Pat Henry, for the way he has really gotten behind this Robert A. Heinlein blood drive every year, and also to the person who we identify as donating the 2,500th unit of blood. And because there's legalities involved in public health, we'll know exactly when that is, which surprised me. But yeah, it all has to be documented very well, so we're pretty excited about that. And also, the Georgia Special Olympics is our charity this year, and DragonCon Incorporated will match donations to our DragonCon charity drive up to $100,000. So if we raise $50,000, DragonCon will give another $50,000. If we raise $80,000, DragonCon will give $80,000. If we raise $100,000 in our charity, DragonCon's going to match it with another $100,000.
That's awesome. Very, very awesome. So I did want to talk to you about, it's like an old story, but it kind of impacts the cons a little bit. So you know about the former Power Ranger Jason David Frank's situation that happened, I think it was a Philadelphia Comic-Con, where somebody was going to attack him. So because of that, a lot of the Comic-Cons are very strict about people bringing weapons or bringing props that looks like weapons. Is that what's going to happen this year at DragonCon?
Well, this is really important. We always are fierce about our weapon peace bonding program, and we're not going to stop people from carrying styrofoam guns or anything like that. But what we're going to do is, throughout DragonCon, you might have seen this happen if you were there last year. Throughout DragonCon, we have people checking props as people come off escalators. And we keep an eye out for whatever is going on. And we have a strict peace bonding process where after the weapon's been inspected, if it's not appropriate for the convention, it's removed. But otherwise, the weapons are wire tied so that they cannot leave the person's body. And that's an important way for us to allow people to continue to have their fun weapons, their foam weapons, their costume weapons. But it's also a way to make sure nobody is doing anything untoward, and that we're protecting the people there. One of the great examples, I actually had a conversation with a young man last year about this, who was a police cadet who had come out of the military, and he actually praised our system for making sure things were authentic and that authentic things were taken care of to make sure nobody had any confusion. And this year, above all years, security is a concern for everybody, and we have taken massive steps working with the APD, working with the hotel security, working with the GBI, making sure that this will be the safest, most inclusive, most fun DragonCon ever.
Absolutely. I'm super excited. I actually work downtown on Peachtree, so last year I got a chance to see, pick you out on my lunch hour and see the people dressing up. And it was just amazing how everybody just walk around the streets like in New York as if them in these costumes is just normal. You see like superheroes and like Deadpool, which is my favorite, just walking around just normal everyday life. And it's super fun. So I hope that people understand it's not about, a geek or anything bad. Like, it is so fun. You see how creative people are. It's amazing.
No, and that's just it. And we're all geeks now. If you talk to most people about what movies they've seen this year, I'm pretty sure Guardians of the Galaxy and Wonder Woman are high on everybody's list.
Don't be mad at me, but I haven't seen those movies yet.
What?
Well, I have.
I was wedding planning, but I plan on getting back and binge watching very soon. But no, go
So
ahead.
So I'm going to change the subject. So what movies have you seen this year?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember going to the movies this year.
Oh my
Did
God.
you say,
Rachel.
You haven't seen Baby Driver?
No,
Baby
wait,
Driver?
Baby Driver.
Yeah, Baby Driver.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I've heard it's
I
hilarious.
recommend it because it was filmed at DragonCon. Not at DragonCon where it was taking place, but it was filmed in our food court.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And all around Atlanta.
All right, you said what's it called again?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. I will look into that.
BABY, baby.
Baby Driver. Yeah, I'm a mess because normally I'm one of those people, Dan, when a Marvel movie comes out, I will pay. Oh, I know what I saw this year. Power Rangers. That's what
Yeah.
we saw.
There you go.
I wasn't playing
Power
about
Rangers,
that.
and that's what everybody's going to see. I myself have missed Power Rangers, but I didn't grow up in that era. I did grow up in the Silver Age of Marvel comics, so I love my Marvel movies. Plus, filmed here in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're filming now as well. The next Marvel movie, the next Avenger movie.
I thought that wrapped.
Well, a couple, maybe like a week ago, because
Yeah.
at my
Oh, good,
location,
okay.
they like to book we have a very cool looking parking deck, so they've been calling us
Sure.
to book that up to last week. So they might have wrapped, but I think they're still
There you
a
go.
little bit extra.
I was able to drive past when they turned Woodruff Park into Central Park. It was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was filled with fake New York City news vans, and it was filmed with New York taxis and hot dog vendors, and it was hilarious. And they even put up railing like they have in Central Park. But that's another thing about DragonCon is that so many of the customers that you see at DragonCon, a lot of them are getting jobs in film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As they should, because a lot of them, they're super talented. Super intricate costumes and
Right. The makeup, everything, these people go way out, and it's really, really, it's nice. It's better than those days you just throw on, like the little
Cape.
Kmart and cape, and these are really
It's
intricate
a
designs.
competition. I know last year Harley Quinn was an extremely popular one, and so it got to the point where you're really like judging people. I saw kind of a little standoff stare between a couple Harley Quinns because they put so much time and energy into their look to look as authentic as possible.
Right.
So people take this extremely serious,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all
They-
super fun.
They do it. It's all for fun, and for those who, pardon me, for those who've never been, there's a fantastic area behind the Hilton Hotel between the Hilton and the office apartment complex with a set of stairs, and they fill those staircases, and they're very wide. They're like 40, 50 feet across, and they fill those staircases up with customers of different types. You'll see 200, 300 Sailor Moons hanging out together, and then across the way there's another set of stairs, and you'll see 100 Avengers. It's just amazing to behold. And last year when they were doing the Guardian of the Galaxy, Sean Gunn, the director, Sean Gunn and his brother James Gunn came out. Sean Gunn is Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy, and also from Gilmore Girls. And it's one of the things that I love that they celebrate here at DragonCon. It's not just the nerdy stuff that you remember, but people will talk about their other stuff. I remember years ago. You ever watch Star Trek? You know the character Q, who's always fighting with Picard.
Yeah.
So the actor who played Q was actually at the Kent State Massacre, and he survived. There's a very famous picture of the Kent State Massacre of a young lady bending over a dead body, and he was about 15 feet behind her when it happened, when that photograph was taken. And I remember a panel where he just talked for hours about the amount of time he talked to Congress, the amount of time he actually had to drop out of college for a semester because he was spending so much time in Washington with the Justice Department, with the Pentagon, everybody investigating, talking to him. So you find the most interesting conversations at DragonCon, and we as an organization have a very clear goal to make sure that DragonCon is always a place where everybody feels welcome. And and we haven't even talked about the fact that it goes 24 hours a day.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, DragonCon is a 24-hour-a-day, 4-day-a-week party. 4 days during Labor Day weekend party, and during the daytime it's all family friendly, and we have a lot of stuff for the kids, a lot of workshops for the kids. We have special tracks just dedicated to things like shows that tweens like, and crafts and activities for young folks. We have puppetry all day long, but then at night it gets a little more. People can cut loose a little bit more. The kids have gone home, and it's this giant, massive party that fills up the Marriott Marquis, it fills up the Hyatt, all the hotels, and we have sanctioned parties going on, maybe 5 or 6 all night long in every hotel. So it is a 24-hour event.
Absolutely. Well, we're so excited for DragonCon to return again this year. Dan, can you tell everybody where they can find out more information about DragonCon?
Absolutely, Rachel. It is www.dragoncon.org, or download the DragonCon app for Android or for Apple.
All right, Dan, it's always a pleasure. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to hear from you. I was so crushing on your Santa pictures that you posted during Christmas time, looking good. And
well, I got to tell you, Rachel, I just lost 35 pounds. I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to be able to be Santa this year or not. I'm going to have to get a pudgy suit, but thank you. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and it's like at DragonCon. You do something that's fun, but it's also good and brings people together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dan Carroll, for calling in, and we will see you. It's next weekend, right?
It is indeed next weekend. Labor Day weekend. It starts August 31st.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you so much again, Dan Carroll, for calling in. And guys, you're listening to The Real with Rachel D. Make sure you keep it here. We have another mix by DJ Specs.